Das Radical.
So, there's this young woman, her name is Vigdís Harðardóttir, and she recently published an article on DV.is where she talks about veganism. She's a vegan activist. Actually, she's a vegan activist, a poet, and a rapper from who used to be part of a rap group called the Daughters of Reykjavík, or Reykjavíkurdætur, which was a rap group that consisted of, I think, 10 to 15 young women that were highly active in the Me Too movement and just general women's rights activism and stuff like that. So yeah, she kind of sounds like a stereotype of a stereotype already, but this article caught a lot of people's attention because in it she talks about, well, her views on veganism, and she basically drew a comparison between consuming milk products to rape culture. Yes, you heard. I'm not making that up. By the way, I double checked. I thought maybe this was like a fake article or something, but then again, it was on DV.is, so that is unlikely. But no, she is an actual human being. These are her actual thoughts on the matter. So the article is in Icelandic, but I'm just gonna read through it and try to translate as much of it as I can as I go through it. And after that, I'm gonna give you my personal thoughts on the subject matter. Vigdís Harðardóttir is a 24-year-old vegan, feminist, activist, rapper, and poet. Feminism and veganism. Oh boy, this will be interesting. I was a great feminist, or a major feminist, and then I became vegan. For me, this both falls into one and the same category. She regularly takes part in activism and is active in all sorts of Facebook groups that are fighting for animal and female related issues. Alright. Me and my friend have often discussed rape culture in the dairy product industry. We wanted to start a discussion on a Facebook group where people fight against rape culture. When talking about rape culture, it is often forgotten to speak about men, gay people, and trans people. Other species are also forgotten. Okay, it is important that we don't just focus all the discussions about women, since even though women take the brunt of all the sexual violence, but the discussion of rape culture has always been painted by the white feminism. Everybody except the white women are forgotten. And there may be some truth to that. There are societies and countries where, for example, more men get raped than women. For example, in the US, male rape is actually more prevalent than female rape due to prison rape. But that's more to do with the very fucked up US prison system, which I will not get into right here. Let's just continue with this article. So far, not so controversial. I shared a very interesting article by Benjamin Sigurgeirsson, who I don't know who is, who was then posted on the website of the Kvennablaðið, the women's magazine. Basically, it was about violence towards unhuman animals. Yeah, that would be the definition of an animal in farming in this country. With this post, I wrote that cows are being raped for milk, and said that this was a discussion that was important to take part in, and that it's thus far been ignored or completely silenced. And she says here that apparently she posted this on this discussion page on Facebook where they discuss rape culture, and apparently her post about rape, the dairy product industry being a part of rape culture was blocked from the group, and some admin or administrator in the group said that this was inappropriate activism on this site, and basically he's saying, we're just here to discuss rape issues involving humans and, you know, not animals. So you're gonna have to find another site for this. Anyway, she goes on to say, all animals are raped. How is the rape culture in the dairy product industry? This really sounds like it's like this is some sort of a troll article. It's like it's hard to take this seriously. Cows are being raped. Cows cannot say yes or no, or cannot give consent. Actually, that's not true. My cow, she always gives me consent. Yeah, when she goes moo, that means yes. So yeah, we define rape as forcing somebody to perform a sexual act against the will of said person or without getting their permission. According to that definition, cows are being raped, says Vigdís, and continues. This is done with all animals in the animal industry. I guess he means farm industry. I'm not saying that this is exactly the same as when women are raped, not at all. But this doesn't mean that you can't talk about it. Now that we are on that point in time in our society that we are more and more talking about violence against animals and how to combat that, maybe we should look at how it is wrong to put a metal pike up into the crotch of a cow to make it pregnant. That child is then taken from her. Yes, you put child in quotation marks. Why didn't you just say cow? Anyway, that child is taken from her as well as the milk. Why are we, human beings, putting ourselves on a higher platform just because we are a different species? This is speciesism. Tegundarhyggja. Okay, she talks about that she herself has been a victim of sexual violence or rape, and I actually briefly read on other interviews she did once, and so yeah, apparently she has been dealing with that she is a victim of rape, but she seems to be doing quite well for herself. I mean, she's active and, you know, tries to move on with her life. Don't know if she had the guy who raped her charged or anything like that. That wasn't mentioned in that interview that she gave, but I just want to give you the full context of where she comes from. Women and animals put in the same category. Okay, you know, I'm not a woman, but something tells me that I would be offended if I wrote this. If people would think about the language that is used about women, cows, pigs and other animals, people would see how these living creatures are often put in the same category. What? Oh, says Vigdís, who is currently studying Kynjafræði at the University of Iceland and really likes her studies. Kynjafræði is... God, I have to Google it. I don't know how exactly... Okay, I'm gonna Google it real quick because I don't know the exact translation. Okay, and the interviewer asks, would you say that the dairy product industry is the main culprit? And Vigdís answers, not just the industry, but the consumers as well. Wow, wow, oh wow. Wow, thanks for making me not feel guilty at all, you know. So yeah, if you look through the comments on this article, people are just ripping this to shreds. There was also, in this article, there's a brief interview with a local cow farmer, and he also says, he couldn't be more wrong. And here's the thing, okay, I'm just gonna now talk about this article and what she says here. And yeah, I think there is pretty much nothing there at all where we agree on. I like to eat meat. I'm a huge meat consumer. Heck, I go all the way. I really like to consume the meat of animals that I have personally killed, and I enjoy that quite a lot. I mean, I don't enjoy the killing part as much as the consumption part, but, you know, it comes with the job, I suppose. So yeah, just want to tell you where I'm coming from. See and me, we're not coming from the same place here, but is there some truth to what she is saying? And I'm gonna say absolutely fucking no. I mean, here's the thing. I get, you know, being nicer to animals, and I'm not a big fan of factory farming, and I'm a huge hypocrite because I do eat a lot of pork and chicken, meats and products from animals who are, in my mind at least, farmed in a very inhumane or animalistic manner. I'm a farm boy myself, so I witnessed a lot of farm practices when I was growing up. I grew up in an area where we mostly had horses and sheep, and you know, they spend a lot of time outdoors and seem to run wild much of the time and seem to be generally well fed and very happy. And so, you know, coming from a farm upbringing, I think modern farming, like that kind of modern farming, is like I said, humane, animal aim. Yes, I'm a word creator. And something that a lot of people pointed out in the comments of this article was that people like this, people who try to equate veganism, or more specifically like farming and meat and dairy product industry with rape culture, they kind of make the people who, you know, are actually fighting against rape culture and trying to create a safer world for men and women, or especially women, these groups are often at odds here. So they actually make the Me Too movement look bad. They actually make all of the social progress that we are currently making, or I believe that we're currently making, in fighting against sexual harassment and rape and other such things, that you get an activist like this, like Vigdis here, and it kind of makes the whole group who are fighting, you know, against rape culture look bad, because everybody just looks, wow, look at these fucking morons now saying that you know, eating meat is the same as going out and raping somebody. So yeah, so, and I agree with it. I think they are putting I think people, I don't think Vigdis is alone in this. There gotta be other people who have the same views as her, like one or two. And yeah, in my mind, they really are giving a bad name to the Me Too movement and other such subsequent movements, and which I think is very sad. However, there is this thing here. This article did still make me think about something that I've been thinking about for a long time. And there may actually be a little bit of truth to what she is saying. I'm going to explain that in the next video. In the next video I'm going to explain my personal views on veganism. And not veganism, my personal views on, you know, just the relationship between humans and other humans and animals. Stay tuned for that.
Das Radikal.